Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Beacon of Light podcast. And tonight we have Miss Louise Elliott. And we're so happy that she joined us tonight. We've had some incredible experience with so many amazing authors and writers. Now, Louise is going to be sharing with us so many different things. But before we do, I wanted to kind of, cover some of the business really quick. And first off, we will be giving away a free copy of Out of Darkness. It's my latest book, and we're going to be really excited to give this off to anyone who is showing up live, commenting, sharing, liking, all of those things so that we can get the message out to so many people, because Louise has an incredible book. And it is going to be nominated for, we want it to be nominated for that top 10 position with Author Academy Awards. And so there's some exciting things coming. And this is that last week where we're collecting all the votes as much as possible. So those things are exciting. Well, I'm broadcasting live tonight from Kyle, Texas. And Louise, where are you broadcasting from tonight?
Well, I'm from Westerville, Ohio, just outside of Columbus.
Excellent. That is a great, beautiful place. At least what I can see from your yard is like, wow. And the walks with Aslan, those are awesome.
Yes, all my critters, they're fun.
They are fun. And you've adopted 2 more little critters that I've seen, right? Or no, at least one, a Hermione cat, right?
Just one cat that I just adopted. She's 8 weeks old now, yes. So that's been fun. Also, she's it's nice to have the break. I'm working from home all day, so it's nice to have that little intermittent break with my critters, with the unconditional love.
That's so true. They're so loyal, and they just pop up anytime, and you're like, oh, best timing. Thank you. It's awesome. That is great. Well, let's go ahead and jump on in and get started here. Again, if anyone else is popping up, we welcome you, and we will go ahead and let it roll. So, Louise, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a career coach. I started in 2013. I had been in corporate America for over 30 years and realized that I wanted something more out of life, and helping people was my aspiration and joy. And so I decided to take the leap and become a career coach. And then in 2017, I got my master's in psychology to be more well adapted to helping people in their lives as well as their careers.
Wow, that is incredible. How was that journey going to get that master's degree? Wow.
Well, it all started with journaling, as one can say. I journal a lot, and I had gone through a series of journals from back in my 20s, and I came across a journal. I opened it up, and it said 20 things you're going to do in 20 years. And I went down the list, and all of the things I had basically accomplished except the one, and that was to get my master's degree. Now, it didn't say what master's degree. It just said, go back to school and get your master's degree. And so at that time in 2017, well, actually 2015, I realized that I hadn't done that, and I really wanted to get it done before I turned 50. So wow. that was my new goal, to get my master's in my 50s, and I did it.
Congratulations. That is incredible. That is hard work, dedication, and all inspired from journaling. So that's pretty impactful. So share more about journaling with our audience tonight.
Yeah, of course. So not about my first book, which was the Brain Power Pyramid. My second book actually is a journal. And that really was the premise of everything I've done in my life. Everything that, all the successes and all the failures in my life have been recorded in a journal. And I just realized that the power of writing from your brain to your fingertips really wires your frequency of positive or negative. If you have a lot of negativity in you and you write it down, of all the emotions that you're going through, it actually releases it and helps you calm down and start to find solutions rather than problems. And the same holds true on the positivity side. If you're writing things about what you're grateful for or what you're positive about, that frequency resonates and keeps you healthy. It helps you maintain that positivity and releases stress.
Wow, releases stress. How many out there are stressed? What an incredible thing. What I love about what you said, it's not going to cost anything other than, something to write with and some paper.
That's
That's
right.
pretty cheap therapy. I mean, that is incredible stuff. And I loved what you said with wiring, the wiring of the brain from actually taking the thoughts, traveling down, and actually writing. When we write, we actually are crossing and connecting both hemispheres because of just our left to right, composition. So my occupational therapists out there are like, yeah, let's do this left to right, that all of that connection, it truly is clarifying. I think sometimes when answers are staring at us right in the face, journaling, we've all heard about a diary and journaling before. This isn't new news. So some people, they just kind of brush it aside. What do you have to say about that, Louise?
Yeah, absolutely. Several of my clients that I coach with, one of my clients in particular, she came to me, she says, Louise, stop making me write in my journal. You keep giving me homework assignments. You keep asking me to write in my journal, and I just don't want to do it. It feels uncomfortable. It feels like it's too hard. And I basically said, what's too hard about writing down your thoughts? And she says, every time I go to write my thoughts down, I draw a blank because I think I have to be perfect. And I'm here to tell you, everybody's messy, right? We're all messy. We all have things inside of us. Nobody is perfect. And until you get it written down, you can't solve that. If you're broken, something's wrong, you can't solve it without writing it down and actually seeing what's broken so that you can fix it. So that became an epiphany and kind of an eye-opener for her, and she started to write. And so she was so excited the next week when I met with her. She had gone to CVS and got one of those composition books, and the whole thing, she just couldn't stop writing. She just filled the whole thing up in a week. And it was just really motivating and inspiring. And one of the things she said she wanted to do was work at a zoo. And in fact, she posted on my post with my kitten the other day, and she said, "Oh, I volunteered at the zoo on Sunday," and that was one of the things that she really wanted to do in her life was work at a zoo. And now she volunteers because of all that writing in her journal. She realized that that was something that meant something to her, was important to her. So she went out and sought after it. But I don't think she would have done that, or at least it would have taken a lot longer had she not journaled.
That is so true. When we are in that discovery, how incredible for her. And when she had that discovery, look at the action she took immediately. She's now volunteering. She had something probably deep within her for a long time.
Absolutely.
Once you coached her to drop the perfection and just be messy, the freedom that allows in anyone's healing journey is the exact perfection that we're looking for.
Absolutely.
Because in all of that, you're working towards something that's really inside, that's deep, that we might have missed or misplaced, even if it's something as a childhood dream, right? Mm-hmm. When we start to add that together, the power of that through the journaling just comes through. So do you have your book with you right there?
Both
books. Oh, look at this.
First book, Brain Power Pyramid. And if you want to go vote, this is the one you can vote for. And then this is my second book, which is actually a journal that was inspired from the book. So it's called Live Into Your Brain Power Pyramid. And it's really about both life and career, of how you can get all the things you want. And this journal really helps you, inspires you to put those things and make those connections in the journal.
That is wonderful. It looks like we've got a beautiful person here tonight. Her name is Deb, and she says that journaling has always been my lifesaver.
Yay.
Louise, do you want to answer and respond to that, why that's possibly happening for her?
Absolutely. It's because you're talking to your best friend. Your best friend should be you. And who's a better listener than you? So when you sit down and journal, you're talking to yourself, you're talking to your best friend, and your best friend is giving you all the best advice. And you might not see it, but when you write it, that's when it shines out and helps you with your life. Yeah.
Excellent. That is such a fantastic way to enter into this next phase of my question for you with the Black journaling book. You said it was an inspiration from the first book.
Yeah.
What is within this second book that can help support, to keep things going, keep things learning?
Yeah. So as I said earlier, the 20 things I want to do in 20 years. If you open up the book, the journal, it actually asks you those 20 questions. What are 20 things you want to do in the next 20 years? And then the rest of the foundation of the journal really helps you decide, of those 20 things, you're not going to do them all right now today. It's going to take you 20 years, but what's most important right now? And it really helps you dissect and start to look at how do you break that big task down to little achievable tasks so that in a year or even under a year, that first item on your 20 years is done.
Wow, that is a great structure to have, because I think sometimes we have great ideas. So I'll show off my weaknesses here. I have ideas that just don't stop. And
Yeah.
you've experienced a few of those. In fact, you actually helped me with one with photography when we literally had, 6 minutes left together. I had been thinking about this and it was just an obsession. You stepped right in and knew how to break down the task. And within those 6 minutes, I have photos that people compliment on that are like, how did you do that? I can see the concept so beautifully. So you're used to understanding how to break down those structures. So for myself, I think this is a book that would help me in all of the ideas that I do to bring it into like a structure that helps me to break down the task, to prioritize, and then I know where to go within those 20-year plans, know how to break things down. Right. Fantastic. Well, I got to order myself a copy. This is going to be awesome. Awesome. Great things. So in your life, journaling has been a big part of it. Yes. Here's a question. Back in childhood, did you start back then, or was it something maybe more in middle school or high school? When did you start?
I actually started very young. Fun fact, I lived in Europe for 6 years and spoke German, French, Portuguese, and Luxembourgish. I lived in Luxembourg, so it's a cross between French and German. And my parents were English, but they forgot to speak English or teach me English because I was in a native, a foreign land where I was getting all these other languages. I wasn't practicing my English. So after 6 years of being in Europe, we moved to back to the States, and I was kind of tongue-tied. I didn't know how to show my emotions. I didn't know how to communicate because I had all these foreign languages, but not really English. And I met with a linguist, and she's actually the one that had me try to write my thoughts in English. And even if I went back and forth between languages, I got my thoughts on paper. And that was really the start of it.
That is such a cool story. This is something that really, what a fun thing to understand. As a teacher, as somebody who, for myself, my own children, watched their delays in communication, adding something to writing, and with many of my kids with a picture with the writing, their expressions in just communicating overall has definitely increased. So it looks like we've got a few people making some great comments here. Linda says, journaling led me to my last book. Congratulations, Linda.
Awesome.
And 365 days of my conversations with God. I believe that's the title. What a beautiful thing. So Linda looks like she's sharing a testimony about journaling. Great support. You've got to go and vote for her. This is amazing. Wonderful. It looks like Janet has to say that journaling was her start as well. So something very familiar, and something that, with the familiarity, the simplicity of writing, look at the impact, true power that it has. That is incredible, incredible stuff. So, Louise, what is something that you would like to share specifically within the book that maybe our audience doesn't know about yet?
Sure. Wow, there's a lot of things that probably the audience doesn't know about, but specific to journaling, in my book, I do talk about journaling throughout the book. But the one thing I do talk about is just sit down for 5 minutes a day just to collect your thoughts. What are you grateful for? What do you want to accomplish in the day? What do you wish? What do you have regrets for that you haven't accomplished yet and you really want to start? A lot of people get hung up on, they get brain block of writer's block, and they don't know what to write in a journal. So just think very simplistic things of what you want to accomplish. What do you like? What are you grateful for? What makes you smile? Look out your window and nature. There's so many things you could write about just to start it, and you'll find that even after that 5 minutes, you'll keep going because there's so much in your brain that needs to get out.
I love that. The start of 5 minutes, again, another simple concept. I'm thinking about working moms. I'm thinking about moms who are at home with kids and other different tasks. The thought about gathering 10 minutes, 5 minutes of sorting your thoughts, and another 5 minutes to write. How freeing of an activity that can be to really help maybe stop some of the negativity of, I didn't get this done today, or these things happened, or I had a really nosy neighbor that came to my door and told me that things were happening that I didn't know about, but I was aware about, and how to write that down, let it go. Anyone who saw the post this morning can understand what I'm talking about. So it looks like Sandra says something very similar, is that she journaled even as a child. So this looks like a connection that really is empowering to so many people. And what would you suggest if, like for my groups, I work with a lot of people that have been in abuse in different levels. Many of them have now left and they're in kind of that surviving level. What would you recommend for somebody like that so that they can find the clarity of thoughts and possibly even some light within themselves?
There are different journaling techniques. I actually am coming up in August. I'll have a 5-day challenge. It'll be free. I'll let this audience, I'll send it to April, and she can let everyone know to sign up for the 5-day challenge for free, of just different journaling techniques and different things you can try. It's not a one size fits all. No one, I can't give you a prescription and say, do this, this, and this, and you'll achieve greatness. That it doesn't work that way. It is really very personal to the individual, and you have to find what works for you. You also have to find, maybe the morning is better for journaling than the evening, or some people are an evening. I like to journal at night and reflect on my day. But everybody's different. And I talk through the 5 days. I teach different techniques and ways that you can find what works best for you. So that would be my advice. And know that you are unique, and it is not a one size fits all. It is very tailored to you as an individual, and you matter.
I love that. Finding how you matter, you have your own self-worth, and there's a way basically for yourself to self-discovery. The commonality of the tools, something to write with and some paper. That's
Right.
a commonality. Beautiful. Now these ideas and different techniques, what a great way to start to find your individual way that really speaks to you. Again, something that is, it's, we'll say it's excuse free, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very excuse free, where other people might say, I know a lot of people who've just left their victimhood, they still live in a lot of excuses. Well, I don't have enough money. There's not enough time. I don't know if, and so they're stuck kind of in a swirl like this. That eliminates so many of those things. And for 10 minutes, if you found a way, and if it's only just saying thankful for the things that happened that day, or just even making a list of what
Yeah.
happened that day. However the starting is, I'm sure Louise has a lot of techniques that she'll share in that 5-day challenge, but it stops the excuses. And then you start to take the accountability for the healing journey that you're going to be set on. And that is amazing. Looks like we have some other great comments. Deb says again, journaling is so freeing and non-judgmental.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. And I love what you said, Louise, about your journaling and writing to your best friend, yourself. If
Yep.
you've been hard on yourself or negative to yourself, this might be a way of healing that inner voice to realize, no, I'm amazing. There are things I can do that no one else can do. There's ways that, characteristics, attributes that only I have. And the discovery in the writing, it's there on paper. The word is down. And sometimes rereading that just starts to pump things up a lot better. Janet says that seeing things on paper makes them real.
Absolutely.
That
Yeah.
is fantastic. Looks like everyone has caught on to the whole concept of tonight, and this is beautiful. Oh, I love how we were prompted tonight to be like, I'm going to ask Louise. And you were so gracious to come on. I'm so happy. So, in all of the amazing things we've chatted about tonight, what is something that you would like to offer to anyone listening that might give them something that is specific just for them?
Don't be too hard on yourself. Obviously, don't. Journaling is a process. So a lot of times people think, oh, if I'm gonna decide to journal, I'm gonna journal every single day. You may not. You might have breaks in between. Reflect on that. Why did I have a break? What happened? What took place that took me away from journaling? I had a client that wanted to go on a health journey of getting her health improved. And she was very motivated. I took her through the whole exercise. She got these books. She read 2 of the books and she journaled for about a week. And then 2 weeks passed by and she plateaued. She hadn't lost any more weight. She hadn't really felt any differently than she did before. Nothing had changed. And I said, what'd you do with your journaling? She goes, oh, I haven't journaled in 2 weeks. And I said, why? And she said, oh, I just felt so good when I journaled that time that I didn't feel like I needed to do that anymore. So I just didn't. And I said, did that work for you? And she kind of said, I guess not, because I'm not any better than I was 2 weeks ago. So don't think that it's a set it and forget it type of situation. Journaling is really meant to do it on a frequency that works for you. I'm not saying do it every day, but do it consistently enough where all that mess is getting out on paper so that you can see the progress and see how you've solved things and even see how you haven't solved things and maybe readjust and reset yourself and move forward. But the point is reset and move forward. Just go forward.
Excellent. Taking the action, moving forward allows such progress when we can't even see it, right? The journey is small, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. It just takes the action of what you can do for that day. And if you don't hold yourself to, I'm going to write 2 straight pages every day or something where it almost sets you up for self-sabotage. Like You know that's not going to happen.
Right.
And then when you say, oh, look, I'm another failure, didn't happen. The point is, process your thoughts. If that's once a week, if that's daily, if that's sometimes morning, sometimes evening, find the ebb and flow for yourself. And what I hear Louise saying is encouraging to do it and get through the mess. Mm-hmm. Almost anyone that lives in greatness does self-evaluations. And through journaling, that evaluation can really help. Now, I know sometimes if you've ever looked back at old journals, especially maybe from middle school or high school, they make you laugh.
They do.
And not for, oh, I was so dumb. It's like, wow, those were my challenges. Look how much I've overcome since then. Oh, that cute boy. Yeah, he's a mess now. I'm glad I didn't have to worry about that. Right?
Right. The complexity of our lives when we were much younger is so insignificant when you look back. But the reality is our problems are not unsolvable. But when we're in the midst of those problems, we think they're horrendous. And we have to just push forward and push through them and be able to get on the other side and look, hey, I did that. I got through all that mess.
Yes, agreed. And when we get through it, look back and reflect, it feels just incredible. So I encourage anyone who's listening tonight to really take what she has to say to heart and start. It's just really that simple. If you have paper and a pen, take it to heart and start. That's the message tonight. Your light will shine through. There is such power in it, and it is so simple to do. So thank you so much, Louise, for being here. And thank you, everyone, Deb, Linda, Janet, Sandra, for making beautiful comments and sharing your thoughts with us tonight. I'm excited to see who is going to be the winner for tonight for Out of Darkness. And please hold up that book that we're voting for, because I know you have two.
This
one, Brain Power Pyramid.
And it's in the health.
Okay.
This one's in the health category.
All right. So we want to vote for the health category. Do you know which number that is on the 16 pages?
It's 7, page 7.
Page number 7.
And
okay.
The journal is actually, if you feel inclined, no pressure, but if you feel inclined, it's in the self-help, and it's on page 14.
Okay. Look at that. We've got a 2 for 2. Excellent. So page 7 and page 14. So get there, cast your votes. We'll put up all of the links tonight and anything else that she might have, possibly a website. For sure, when she sends the link of the 5-day challenge, we'll get that there as well. Yep. We want to be able to share this opportunity with so many of you. I know I'm excited to take a look at that little black book to see what else I can help break down some of my structures and ideas. Because if y'all know me, every day there's some new idea popping up. My poor husband. Oh, well, he's great with it. Thank you again so much this evening, and we'll see y'all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.